Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Alex, and in this video I'm going to go over my initial impressions of Warface Breakout, and I have my wife with me as well, and she's going to be giving her reaction as well. So we're going to go over some of the pros and cons and why you should or shouldn't get this game. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's get into this gameplay real quick. I want to go through some of the pros before we get to the cons, and with me, as sometimes, is Erica, because she actually did play some of this game too. So I'm coming from my opinion's coming from someone who's almost strictly an FPS player. Erica's coming from someone who dabbles. So I'm going to start off with a couple of my pros, and Erica will also throw in her pros as well. So starting off, I think a pro to this game is that the gunplay is actually pretty good. It's not as cheap. I mean, there are cheap games out there that have terrible gunplay, but this one I think is a cut above those other ones. It's not AAA title gunplay, but it is pretty good. I mean, what do you think from the little bit that or from the matches you've played?
My whole 2 matches.
Yeah.
I liked it. I felt like it was pretty easy to control. It was pretty intuitive when it comes to gunplay. Like, obviously all the controls are in the same spots as normal, which is weird. Like, sometimes they change it up.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like it just was pretty easy to control in general. Like, I got a first couple kills pretty fast. Like, I picked up pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. And it's good because we're coming from Modern Warfare, so we play a lot of that, and so we're already pretty used to good movement, I would say. But we'll get back into the movement thing, but in the cons section, another pro I would say is that the weapon selection and models are actually spot on. Just looking through like the SMGs, the pistols, the actual gun models are very well done, and what's funny is they actually have the branding correct on the guns, which is something that I was always thinking, why doesn't Call of Duty, if Modern Warfare and Infinity Ward, if all of them have so much money to put into those games, why is it that this $20 game has all the branding of HK, FN, Smith & Wesson? It's weird. It's weird that they have all the branding, but some more expensive games do not. I'm not really sure why, but that's a pro for me because I like guns, and I like seeing them done correctly and accurately in games.
Yeah, and I like the idea that if you have a gun in real life, you can literally find it. Like that specific gun, and like you'd even try out different paint styles.
Yeah.
And see what you like the most. You know, it's very endearing to be able to use your own weapon.
Yeah, legit. Like, I don't know, maybe one day I'll have an MP5, right? So it's always fun to see different skins and see different optics on one in game, because, you know, who knows, and one day that might affect your purchasing decisions in the future.
Oh yeah. Okay,
so another pro to this game is, I would say the gameplay is quick and it's fun. Like match by match, you tend to run into people pretty quick, which is good. I like that the maps aren't huge; they're good medium size, and since there's 5 people on each team, it really gives you not a lot of time before you run into people. And you can, you know, obviously you can kind of tell where they're going to be since we have those objective points A and B. I would say it's pretty quick. What do you think?
Oh yeah. I mean, it almost feels like a nostalgic gameplay of how quick it is. Like, it reminds me of Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
Like, on the little smaller maps, and you're running around.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then another thing about the maps I was thinking is they are generic. We were talking about this earlier. They are generic, but there are enough lanes that it allows for flanking just about anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So if you think that you might not be able to get kills in this game, I think you'd be surprised because you can attack from just about every, like, people run up on each other and surprise each other, I think, so much in this game from what I've played and what you've played.
Yeah. And I like there's some vertical gameplay. There's not a ton, but you still can go up slopes. You know, you can shoot from high. You can shoot from low. I mean, that gives a lot of variety in your gameplay and where you can go, you know?
Yeah, for real. All right, so those are our pros. Like I said, these are initial impressions. We haven't played hours and hours and hours. I've probably played maybe 20 to 30 matches. And Erica's probably played a couple,
like 2, 3, like nothing. Like I really wanted to get like a very quick first impression.
Yeah.
And see if if it's something that I would want to get into as someone that's a casual gamer, because I'm really picky about my FPSs.
Yeah. So let's get into some cons. And I know I was saying that movement, as much as it feels like Black Ops 2, I think we're just spoiled. Are we spoiled? Because Battlefield always had great movement. The new Modern Warfare game, the movement is, I think, the best I've ever felt in any shooter game. You can climb things pretty quickly. You can, I don't know, it just feels more realistic, I guess, the way you're running around with your gun. So as good as this game has movement down in terms of older games like Black Ops 2, Black Ops 2 is pretty old, and so we've kind of come leaps and bounds. But it is a con. It's not a huge con though, because yes, it is a lower budget game, and it's a studio that's kind of new to these shooter games in terms of selling the game. You know, I know Warface has been around for a while as a free thing, but this good, but still a con for me. Now, another one, something that Erica was really, when she was playing through it the first couple times, something that really got her was, why are these games not ending?
Well, I'm the type of person, like, if they're gonna do quick gameplay, I want quick rounds, and then I want quick games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, when it kept going to, like, 12 rounds, like, I felt like 6 was enough for me. Before I knew for sure that either the things were unbalanced, like, the teams were unbalanced.
Yeah.
Or, like, I was just ready to try a new map.
So it just drags on and on, which maybe that's something they'll change. I know their only game mode is this search and destroy game mode. So maybe they're just like, oh, let's see how many matches we can get into a game in order to keep things going. But I think 12 is just too much. Like, maybe out of 10. Maybe cut down by a couple.
Or maybe give it options. Like, say, okay, you only want 6 rounds, or you only want 10 rounds or 12 rounds. Like, so if someone wants, like, oh, I want to hurry and do a quick game, but you don't want to be there for 20 minutes, then it loads in fast, you're in there quickly, you're shooting people, you're out.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree. I think that's a good idea.
But if you wanted to sit and, like, play for a little bit longer, like, it reminds me of Battlefield 1, like how we always say. There's, like, Conquest. There's...
Which can last, like,
hours,
half an hour.
Sometimes.
Frontlines.
Oh, Frontlines. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I've played a 2-hour long Frontlines game, and it was just, like... just wanted it to end so bad.
But it's cool that you have that option, because some people would want to play it for that long.
Yeah.
And have a long-term investment.
Yeah, exactly.
Of time.
So that is our pros and cons and our initial thing. Erica has, I think, a couple more points.
Yeah, I have a couple more cons, which is sad. I mean, I genuinely enjoyed this game, but it wouldn't be the kind of like that I'd want to keep going back to.
Yeah.
Like, I see it for what it is, and I can see that some people would just adore it, because it's really nostalgic. You know, it really makes me feel like I'm playing older games again.
Yeah.
And it is really fun and fast-paced. But the biggest problem I had that really took me out of the game was how childish.
Oh, yeah.
First off, the players. Because, like, every time I got killed, and I was, like, one of the last ones to get killed, I get shot, like, 16 times after that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure they'd teabag me if they knew how. Like, I don't know if they're just, like, kids or what.
Yeah.
And I know that's not their fault that this is, coming off to, but it's such a con for me to feel like I'm playing this competitive game and I make a mistake and I'm getting, like, it rubbed in my face.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's so dumb.
And this also leads me to a massive con that I forgot to write down, so that's why we forgot it, is the team killing in this game, is it called griefing or whatever?
Yeah.
Is so bad. And maybe it's just because there haven't been any rules set in place. You don't get kicked out nobody can vote to kick you out if you kill your teammate or this or that. I got killed so many times just right off the bat because somebody wanted to take the C4 for themselves and go plant it. It was ridiculous because it knocks you out of the whole entire match. And if there's a way to kick them out, I haven't found it yet, but that was the worst.
And I feel like friendly fire is a cool mechanic, and I want them to keep it. But if they could just set up boundaries, like you said, voting. Well, I know there's like a lot of creative ways to be able to have anti-griefing measures.
Yeah.
But there needs to be something, or else it will become unbearable, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I also have a hard time with. I feel like there's a conflicting feeling when you play in the game because it feels childish in the ways of like the voice acting.
Yeah, the voice acting's super childish.
Which is fine. I love that when it has its place, like in Borderlands. Like, it gives it a lot of personality, but there isn't enough style in the game. Like, they didn't make enough stylistic choices, because that would still keep the graphics down, making it very quick to get into games.
Yeah.
But, like, even if they did cell shading, if they did, like, more cartoonish, because if they're already going, like, more kid-like with their, like, sound effects, then go more kid-like with your style.
Yeah.
Like, I just felt like it was conflicting for me, and that also pulled me out. Like, either I want all hardcore, or I want kind of cutesy. Like, I want Overwatch, or I want Battlefield 1. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we're so used to playing more realistic, more gritty games.
Or cute games.
Yeah. But that middle is kind of a weird thing, because you can either nail it or not, and I don't think they nailed that part.
Okay, next point I have would be, I wish there was more team communication. That you can, like, point and, like, ping or mark an area. Like, so let's say you had the C4, you can pin, okay, I'm going to try and make it to point A or point B, and then your whole team can communicate together and say, okay, we're all gonna go and protect it over here, or I'm gonna split off and I see an enemy over there, I'm gonna ping him over there. You know, like, I feel like this game is so based on teamwork, but yet there's no communication.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
But if they could increase that communication, I would love to. Because if you're in a team, you're going to want to work together. And, like, I just felt like we were all running. Like, I saw a guy with a C4, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try and defend him. Yeah. But he would, like, go in the middle of the map and get killed. And I'd be like, what do I do? Yeah. And then I'd try and pick it up and die immediately because there's a sniper in the middle.
Yeah. So for you, would you say there's more cons than pros?
For me, yes.
Like, slightly more,
because I'm not an FPS shooter. Gamer. Yeah. I feel like there isn't enough pros for me to stick around. But I am someone that likes a lot of variety in their gameplay, and this just isn't for me. And that does not mean that it's a bad game or it isn't for you, and it doesn't mean it's, you know, something that you can't enjoy. This is just like my opinion of someone that just doesn't play very often. Yeah. So maybe like for someone that doesn't play and you want to get someone into gaming, maybe this isn't like the best intro.
But, so, I guess here's what I'm thinking. Is I see a lot of potential in this game. Maybe the pros and cons are about 50-50 right now. But the first season hasn't even started. So there's got to be some more content coming, some more patches, things to fix. As a base game, you know, everyone knows Search and Destroy. So as a base game, it's a good game mode. And the gunplay is good enough to keep it going. I just think that we need to wait and see what else they do with it. In terms of customization, more, you know. Yeah. In terms of all of that, just balancing things. And it could become a competitive shooter that a lot of people get on. Because
it was fun to watch, other than it was really long. Other than that, I actually really enjoyed watching you play. And the way they set up with the cameras, it was really cool. Like, I could see them do actual competitions. And, like, someone, you know, what's it called when they announce it?
An announcer.
Yeah, I could see them having an announcer and it being so cool. Yeah. Like an Overwatch.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that's what we think right now. We're gonna keep playing it over time, and once this season 1 comes out, I'm gonna see what that's all about, if it adds more to the game. But I can definitely see where this game took inspiration from. Obviously, they have their Warface original game, but We were talking, we think there's a lot of Black Ops inspiration in this. There's obviously some Rainbow Six inspiration in this. So I'm excited to see where this goes. It just came out of nowhere. That's the crazy thing. All right, so all in all, those were the points we had, pros and cons, and if you were looking to get into this game, those are the things you can expect. Now, real quick, if you haven't seen any of our past videos, we have this one right here. Check the channel, but me and Erica also go over 5 games that would get a girl into gaming. If you have a girlfriend or a wife that maybe is interested, that's the video for you. I mean, you can't really see. Here they are. But basically, we've got a bunch of other videos on other topics, and so check those out, and if you like them, give them a like. Thanks. See you guys in the next one.